6.
10.
16.
Okay, so we started off.
John's not here.
We started off on the moon, right? Last session?
On the moon?
The moon world.
Oh, yeah.
Saloon.
You can just leave that
Saloon. Saloon.
buffalo one, everything else is
Saloon. Saloon blessing all these fools.
They're dancing on the moon.
Moon for going at it.
Try to tell us all these fools. Don't you take the water? I'll kill you. Get out of here, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here, get out.
Got that moon juice on my nuts. Okay, so we started off on Saloon's. What's the plane called?
The silver lit isles or something.
Okay.
But the plane it's on is Isgard.
Isgard. Cool. So we finished the trial and we got teleported to there instead of the dark place of Saloon's twin alter ego goddess. And we traveled there with the help of the barmaid. Ended up meeting this like strong working woman who ended up being Saloon, and then we asked her the questions.
Mm-hmm.
Got our answers. Ballstar got a little overconfident and now can't speak.
Oh yeah.
And thereby not able to help you guys plane shift or do anything. So, last thing I remember, we were just running, right?
Gloria was destroyed.
Gloria died, right?
Yeah, and then we pretty much gated back to the cave, snuck down the mountain. The rocks were searching
And a
for
bit
us.
of a
That's right.
challenge escaping to the Fang.
Yeah, we had a rough time. Some bad rolls.
Mm-hmm.
And then we headed right for what's the place called? Bright Guard?
Bright Watch.
Bright Watch. And also found that destroyed, and our friends, what's their names?
Leonis the Illuminated.
And
Cletus Van Dam, I think.
damn. They were basically crucified.
There were siege weapons, hobgoblin bodies, 2 dead stone giants. The church has been like set ablaze, and yeah, it's like, what's the word? It's the opposite of safe, like defiled. Fuck, it's gonna be a long night. My brain is not working well. Yeah, all defiled and everything. I think that's where we left off, right? You guys go anywhere or do anything?
There was a little scene
Yes.
at the very
No, we
We're looking for a cleric, right?
Oh, fuck.
That's
yeah.
that's
Dude,
when we
you
saw
messed
the bad
some
news.
Yeah, we messaged a whole bunch of people, and we made contact with Hawkeye. Is that his name?
Firearm guy.
Did we met up with Hawkeye when we were trying to contact someone in in
Trollenport?
Trollenport.
Zolenberg?
Corner.
Cornbread?
And
Yes. Hold on, I wrote it down somewhere.
And he got back to us and said that they had fled with some refugees to Trollenport and want to meet us there. Or we're headed to Trollenport.
Yeah, he's got to meet him in Trollenport with some refugees from Zolenberg.
Yes.
You also messaged the Medusa.
Siva?
From Dusk?
Yeah. You said the project is on schedule, however, a great threat to you, Warforged might become more powerful than can be maintained. You sent Siva, that was her name.
Yep.
Yeah.
She said, bring proof. If you get there, go to the Red Rivet Tavern, Lower Tavix Landing.
And then I think we ended on we scried Lucan and found that he was in a coffin with a stake through his heart at the bottom of the ocean somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was alive and seems like his last kind of hope kind of sprung up when he
He knew he was being scried on, so he. So I think that's about it, right?
I think we were going to have also pick up with messaging Goosefire.
Right. You guys hadn't done that yet, right?
No.
Terrence
Are you
did.
gonna stay? Are you staying here at Brightwatch?
I think we were headed to Trollenport to meet Hawkeye and find a cleric.
Okay. Well, sweet. What do you send to Goosefire?
Up, nigga.
I'll tell him Warforged gaining power through the realm of law will destroy this world if left unchecked. Need to call upon the high houses. What I forget that they don't call them the Illuminati here, right?
Yeah. What? Fuck. The Arum.
The Arum. Need to call upon the Arum. All will die if this is ignored.
Okay. You get a message back from Goosefire saying, I think you overestimate my pull in this organization. I'll try, but I'll try. Is what he says.
Yeah. Alright, I just reply, we'll check back with you upon return to Sharn soon.
Okay.
Ballstar writes in charcoal on the deck. When dusk. Then, yeah. Just staring at Terrence.
I suppose we should find out what's happening with the Dark Lanterns and get this curse lifted before we think about that.
Yeah. Okay. You guys jet from Brightwatch to Trollwood Port. It's not a very, very long ride in the airship. It probably takes, I don't know. It probably takes just a couple hours, like we'll say 3 hours or so. Going full speed. If you kind of go over the countryside here, closer to the southern part of Zalargo, you start to see just like a wake of burned things, like farms burning, just like towns that have been, or like small little villages that have just been completely like wiped off the map. Just large streaks of like flattened earth where there's like siege weapons and stuff like that. You don't currently see them, but where large wagons and stuff would trample the ground. But you just kind of see like pockmarked all around the southern area. It's just like ruin. Southern Zalargo and Trollport is in a swamp. If I remember correctly, it's kind of like Venice, so there's like canal routes everywhere. You get to. Is that me? Is there a rude sound?
Not on our end. Sounds fine.
Huh. I must be having a stroke. Yeah, you get to Trollenport. Trollenport is not a very tall city because of the swamp that it's built on. It's kind of built low to the ground, but it's pretty spread out. You can see the canal routes built into the city and everything. There is a Lyrandar tower here, so there is a place for you to park your airship in the city itself. But what you do see around Trollenport, around like the city gates, you see just camps of people outside the city gates. As you're flying.
Do they look like refugees?
Kinda, yeah. It's hard to tell from, as high up as you are, but yeah, you can just see like a small little tent town kind of building outside the city gate. Couple thousand people, it looks like.
I'm gonna write again. How long gone on Moon?
We don't really know.
I nudged Terrence. There's gonna be a lot of nudging. A lot of butt touching.
There's got to be some sort of. Let's check first I'll look at Quincy's moon phase amulet
to see if there was any sort of time jumps.
Yeah, to see if there's a change from when we were last on Corvair.
Okay. No, it doesn't look like there was a very large time jump. The moon isn't significantly different from what it was when you left. Actually, no, I guess the amulet just says the amulet is still marked of what the moon should be, but again, the moon's fucking gone.
Right.
All right. I think unless we've been gone a whole multiple of a cycle, then I think we're right on track.
You guys pull up to the Lyradar Tower. You can see that there's quite a few airships docked here. It looks pretty busy. The docks are just kind of these arms that go out. It's one of the taller structures in the city. There's just arms that kind of like come out of this central structure. You can see different airships have like pulled up to it, and the arms have like kind of grabbed on, suction cupped, or grappled or tied. You don't really know. You pull up to an empty one. As soon as you pull up, you see there's some scrambling on the inside the tower. There's people kind of running around. You pull up. A little arm extends. That. Do you guys not hear that?
No.
No.
Like music just like came in.
Do you have a tab open?
No, I don't.
I had nothing open but like a Google page, like for like 3 hours, and somehow a Facebook video loaded and just went into autoplay from a tab. Like
Weird.
Have had
after like 3 hours of silence.
Yeah, it stopped a while back, but especially when we first moved into that house, if you had speakers powered on but receiving no signal, it would just play a radio station very faintly.
Yeah, if you had a speaker that had any power to it, it would just autoplay a
97.9.
classic rock station.
That's so fucking weird.
It was annoying.
I think I figured it out. I have like a live wallpaper, and I think the live wallpaper I downloaded has like music for some reason. I should think I fixed it. Anyway, you guys pull up to the airship docks. You see once that arm grapples on a large, like rolling floor, pretty much goes over that arm, so it's wide enough for people to stand on and exit. The floor rolls up and gets out, and you see a couple of people coming down the gangplank of the tower, pretty much. One figure in just like a long overcoat. It looks like the overcoat's done in like a lot of silver and blue. He's got kind of a receding hairline with a really sharp widow's peak. He's got black hair, jet black, slicked back, and just like a couple streaks of gray. Got slightly pointed ears, and flanking him are like 5 guards in some of them full plate armor, some of them are just slit armor, all of you carrying pikes. As you come up, the man he waves as you guys disembark. He goes, "Hello there, hi, hello. We haven't gotten any sort of notice of any boat matching your description docking here. Is there some sort of problem here? Is there miscommunication?"
No, sir. We're unaware that we needed clearance to come into the city.
Well, the city's been pretty screwed as of late, where they're not letting just anybody in, unfortunately. You can stay here in the tower, but I'm not going to be able to like guarantee that they're going to let you into the city. That's for the gnomes to kind of figure out, whatever their bureaucracy is. There's a docking fee, which I will be tallying up. You have any cargo, anything that you need to unload?
No. We're simply here to rendezvous with contacts.
Okay, just passengers. You don't mind if we do a quick sweep of the airship just to validate that story, make sure there's nothing. You're not bringing anything illegal into the Lyrandar Tower.
Nope. Anything that's on the ship is going to stay on the ship. You have free reign to look.
He nods his head. He turns back to the guards, kind of climb up the gangplank onto the Fang. The half-elven guy pulls up his little clipboard thing, starts like checking stuff off, making sure it's docked properly. There's a couple awkward moments where he's just busy writing some stuff down. Passes it to you, has you all sign a piece of paper that says, who you are, why you're here. He ties it up. He says that the docking fee is going to be about 2,500 gold because it was There was no. Gosh, I cannot speak today.
No,
Because they had no prior notice of what. They had no prior notice that you were going to dock here. Fuck, guys. I'm so dead.
I'm gonna
Sorry, go ahead.
it's all good.
cast Charm Person on this feller.
Oh boy.
Yeah, 2,500 gold is ridiculous. I'd sooner parachute in.
Sky repel.
Fallen.
Greenspan's not going to stand for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Charm Person.
Okay. He has to roll a charisma saving throw? What is it?
Wisdom.
Wisdom, I think.
Maybe Wisdom.
What is it? 20? What's your fucking DC?
I think it's 21.
21.
I don't think. Yeah,
But it's a charisma saving throw or wisdom?
I have to confirm.
It's wisdom. Could you possibly make that?
Yeah, if you
What's your wisdom?
No, my spell DC is 22.
Christ.
13.
So +1 wisdom?
Yep.
So yeah, you could not physically roll. If Terrence casts a spell on you, you cannot resist it. Like, unless you do a natural 20.
Wisdom saving throw.
No. This dude rolled a 9. Yeah, he's going through. Yeah, he has you all sign it and everything. You throw out Charm Person. I do, however, need you to roll like a sleight of hand or something. So it's not like one dude surrounded by like 3 other guards. You just go. Bah!
Yeah.
Okay. That is 18.
Okay. You kind of do it underhanded, make eye contact with him. He seems very awkward about it, but then his kind of professionalism, the rock hard, just kind of melts away into a half grin smile. His eyes kind of light up. He has you guys, sign it. He's looking over it. Just, look, we can work this out. We can do this. Because you guys have been so nice. I'll waive the unregistered docking fee. Okay, give me 200 gold and we'll call it even.
Well, of course, and that's very generous of you. And if there's anything else that we can do for you, then you just let us know. Be happy to file any sort of appeal or sign any other disclosure statements or whatever you need, sir.
Well, as a favor, I mean, that's a very interesting airship. I've never seen one quite so small. Most of the airships I deal with are big, honking things that are made for cargo, multiple decks and everything. Do you mind if I got some superiors that would probably be very interested in looking at it? If you don't mind us, we won't snoop around or anything, but if we could check out the engines, maybe.
Absolutely, let us know what you think of. If you notice anything out of sorts, then we'd be glad to know about it, so that we can keep it in tip-top shape.
Sure. Just one quick question. What's the do you know what the what's the function of all of the exhaust ports on the I see bordering the middle of the ship, and it looks like there's a whole bunch of hidden compartments that would open up. What are those? Those aren't weapons, are they?
Those aid in partying down.
There's a built-in.
I'm
jacuzzi.
sorry, what?
Ballstar's been in the tub the entire time, and I gesture for him to join me.
In the tub?
Yeah,
Oh, the hot tub?
yeah. The jacuzzi.
Yes,
I don't think he's boarded yet. I think you guys are.
Oh, okay. I thought he was on the ship.
On the outside of the airship, but
yeah. This is quite a luxurious ship, and it has a mineral bath and many other
Ballstar's wearing his like swimming trunks. He's got like a towel, like drying his hair.
And just in case that extra weight needed to be jettisoned for maneuvering and speed and efficiency of the engines, then we can always drop that extra load. And if there are just some kind of flashy features just for show that include confetti and lights and things like that.
Confetti? Well, you've got to show me confetti. If you have a confetti cannon, it's no real cannons, just confetti cannons?
Yes?
I'd love to see that.
Sure.
I'm busy, man. Maybe when you depart, let me know. I'd love to see it.
Sure thing.
Excellent. So no baggage or anything. You're free to walk around Lionel Tower now that we have you registered. We've got some small food stalls. There's some gift shop stuff, all Lyrandar sponsored, of course. But before you leave, you're going to have to check in with there's a Trollandport office down there. And currently they haven't let anybody that's in the tower that have docked get into Trollandport. So good luck with that. Unfortunately, it's separate governments. It's separate from Lyradar, so there's nothing really I can do about it.
Yes.
But any other trouble, I'd be happy to help, guys.
Yes, let me show you that confetti cannon here. That's just I'd like you to enjoy your experience. I will decide privately.
Okay.
Here comes that natural one.
The matter that we are attending here is of utmost importance. We, between you and I, we are trying to reestablish a defense of. Originally, we are Relish agents, but as you well know, this effort is much beyond just simple ancient borders and spats between nations. So what I'm saying is we really need to meet up with the contacts we have here. Is there any tips you can give us or any favors that you can do to help us through the customs process?
There's nothing really we can do. It's the Lyradar is a completely separate entity from the Trollandport and the Triumvirate and all that. It's the government officials. They're logging everybody that's coming in. We've had such a large influx of the rich fleeing from Zolenberg that they're saying Trollandport is having trouble taking on the amounts of people that have come in. He kind of pulls in closer. He goes, I have heard a few of the more richer, more affluent people that have docked here have gotten through. As he turns down and looks down on the gangplank, farther down as he points to another giant, ridiculous airship. They've managed to get through. I'm not sure how. But I assume money has something to do with it. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's nothing that I personally can do, and I don't think there's very much that my superiors would be able to do either.
Well, thank you again for the gesture. And I go to the control panel and I turn on party mode.
Just fucking laser lights, confetti, smoke.
Yep, I just show them the controls to turn up and down the intensity and say, enjoy at your leisure.
It's just laughing.
Terrence the party wizard.
Yeah, it leads on for a little while. As soon as you disembark, he turns it off. And he's just like, oh boy, and he's checking stuff off on the airship while his guards kind of go around making sure there's no contraband or anything. Yeah, what do you guys do?
Who are we here to meet with?
Hawkeye.
Can't we just ask him to come to the tower?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll message Hawkeye, tell him we've docked in Lyrindar port, and how do we get through to the city?
Okay.
I
he
write.
messages back.
I was
Sorry,
gonna,
go
I was gonna say I write tread with a question mark when they ask about searching
Oh,
for the
fuck.
shit.
I always forget about Trud. Trud might be more of an issue.
Yeah, we should probably stay on the ship.
I mean, he could just fly off too.
Yeah, just let him go for a bit.
Okay.
Hawkwood messages back saying, I don't know how to get you guys into the city, but I can meet you at the tower. I'll bring with the refugees. He says he would try to help. he's a priest of Garl Glittergold.
Perfect. We'll meet at the Sbarro.
The Sabaro.
The one and only.
That's the really shitty pizza place, right?
Yeah, it's a chain. There's a scene in The Office when Michael Scott goes to New York. He's in Manhattan, and he's like, "This is the best pizza in all of New York. There's nothing like it." And just walks into a Sparrow.
So dumb. Okay, you guys go into the tower. It's just kind of like this long shallow spiral staircase that just goes up and down. Every once in a while, this spiral staircase will flatten off into a platform, and like there's stuff there. There's a couple different levels. Like on the outside, there would be different docks, but on the inside, every once in a while, as the spiral goes down, there's another little platform. You go down a couple platforms. There's one that just looks to be just like a sitting area, pretty much. You see a whole bunch of tables and chairs. There are a couple food stalls here as well, selling pretty much it's the national brands. It's like the brands that are owned by House Lyrindar, but like you could pretty much eat them at any like airship tower. You go down from that. There's like restrooms and airporty stuff, pretty much. You get down to the very, very bottom, and you can see, even in the waiting areas, you can see it's kind of crowded in here. There's a lot of people, a lot of gnomes, mostly, that look just kind of strung out, like, even though they might be wearing, like, really nice clothes. You can see that they've, like, tugged them apart, and, like, one of them's, like, sleeping on, like, a bench. All these people are just fucking trapped in this stupid airport. What do you guys do? Oh, sorry. Once you get down to the bottom level, you notice that there is a not very large crowd. There's maybe 20 or 25 people, all in line. You see that there are a series of boxes that are like stacked up near where the entrance would normally be, and like a barricade put up where there's a couple of armed guards with these strange-looking weapons. Like one head is like a hammer, but the other head is like a weird blade. They like have hook hammer. That's what it's called. On their belts. They're not like they don't have them out or anything, but they're just kind of there guarding, not really letting anybody out through the barricade. The big line of people, like 20 or 25 people, are all around a small window that's like built into the tower, where you can see that there's just other gnomes. Just like there's like 3 or 4 of these, like it looks like a not ticket booth, but like in a train station, they have like those windows, small windows where they can pass stuff in between, like barred. There's people just screaming at each other through the bars. People come up in line, just working double time. There's 2 people per window. And it says Troll Import Customs. And I'm just not letting anybody in, it looks like.
I get a sausage, egg, and cheese and sit down by a wall.
Okay. You blend in particularly well.
Yeah, I think we just wait for them to show up.
You guys just want to kick it?
Um,
I'm gonna talk to a few people and just kind of like get their story, like what they're doing here.
Sure. A couple of people, the people that you talk to, they don't own an airship, but as soon as Zollenberg, the library, began to like burn down, they just kind of chartered the first airship that they could find. It's not still docked here. It was a Lavendar airship. They just got on and just fucking left with what they could carry. They've been here for at least a month and a half. Trollenport was letting people in initially, but once like there was a huge flood of people coming from the gate, the tower, the lightning rail, all that, they just shut it all down, and they were one of the last people that they're one of the first people that got stuck here.
Wow.
There's a couple other rich gnomes that actually aren't trapped here. They're just docking their airship here, waiting for somebody to come pick them up, because they're going to. They just needed a place to dock the airship. They're chartering another small airship, just taking just outside the city, where a friend has a country house. But it sucks. The people here, they're relatively well informed about the attacks and everything. The army that was marching across the country.
Did they know anything about like where that army came from, what they were composed of?
Yeah, most of them say that it was just like it was hobgoblins and this big, giant, gleaming silver dragon. It's a loud lick you got there, buddy.
Yeah,
He's like right by the mic too.
I know.
Yeah. Get it. He looks pink.
He is. Yeah, he doesn't have much fur left.
Aw, poor buddy.
If you put him
It's like,
behind your microphone, it'll make
like-
less noise.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Like that Charlie Brown episode where Snoopy gets pink. He gets dyed pink.
Not really.
Come here, buddy.
Oh, he's fine. It was just funny. It was just a funny sound. You don't have to move over anything.
Yeah, I think he's gonna. I think his skin's dry, so I'm gonna go moisturize him.
Aww.
Oh,
This pupper's like an infant. Like, you gotta do everything for him. It's so sad.
Aw.
Probably don't have to take him for a walk though.
He can't go on the hardwood floor because it hurts his joints too much.
Oh, really?
He only goes on the carpet, like islands. And you gotta pick him up across.
Oh, what a good boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys, chat with you're here for a couple hours.
Good boy.
You bet.
Do you boys think attempt to send a message to the officials here, or do you think that will get us kind of hung up in since our last experience in a major city was to put a bounty on our heads?
Well, we don't know anybody here, do we?
I put up 3 fingers and point to me.
3.
And then I point to all the gnomes around. And then 3.
All-Star Terry the Third.
I write triumvirate.
Yes. I suppose. I I just don't want us to be apprehended by, the military or something like that. We can't afford to be hung up now.
Just write check Hawkwood and thumbs up.
Right.
You guys chill there for like an hour or so, like hour and a half. Eventually, coming from up above, strangely, you see a man and a gnome. The man looks to be very, very, very old. He's got large robes that are covering most of his form. They're really baggy. He looks really thin and pale. And he's kind of leaning on this other smaller gnome for balance, but going down the steps just achingly slow. Eventually, the pair stops in the food court and kind of looks around, and he approaches Ballstar, who's in the food cart eating his egg with muffin. The man comes up. He's got this big fucking beard on, and he stumbles up to you and goes, "Excuse me, young man. I believe we have some business. May I take a seat?"
I nod my head, put up one finger, and go, yeah, to one of my friends. And then usher them over and politely introduce them.
The old man tugs at his beard and shows that it's Hawkwood. He's just in disguise. As soon as you guys sit down, he kind of puts off the act. He goes, what's wrong? What's wrong with him?"
Wallstar, he was affected.
He's fine. He's just kidding. It's just a joke.
I make mouth puppet movements and just shrug my shoulders and.
We were in the Silver Plains, and we met with Saloon, and it affected his mind.
Oh boy. I assume that's what my friend here is for?
Yes.
Okay.
We're hoping that he can restore his powers of speech.
Okay. Everyone, this is Cadus. He's a priest of Carl Glittergold. The other gnome is maybe about middle-aged, a little bit of a paunch. He doesn't really look like someone who's had to work super hard in his life. But you can see he's just got a whole bunch of rings on. Although the clothes he's wearing looks to be pretty incognito. He still has rings and bracelets and a couple of necklaces on. He's balding there's a horseshoe on it. It's kind of gray and brown. Looks like he probably balded at a really early age. Cadus, he takes a couple steps forward and he nods at all of you. He goes, "Hi, I'm Cadus. I know you guys. You guys were the ones that the Warforged wanted, right?"
Yes, that was us.
That's right.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah. Anyway, so your friend here, he's sick. He kind of gets close to Ballstar and he's tugging at your ears and looking behind and picking your arm up and looking through it and massaging it, trying to feel something weird. Opens up your eyes as he looks into it. So he can't speak at all, or he can produce sound.
He has what we say, an expressive aphasia.
So it's not something physical. Is it a curse? Is it?
Well, his mind seems to have been affected. He's in the presence of a god. He was struck dumb, essentially, And
You say in the presence of a god. He's like in the middle of like looking through his. He's using the presence of a god. He stops. I'm sorry. What?
yes, we had, I suppose, the fortune of speaking directly to Saloon.
Did you make her angry?
No, he simply his mind was affected when the vastness of her answer was given unto him.
I just write, it's kind of my own fault. Then shrug my shoulders again.
He gives you kind of a sad smile. Okay. I've got a couple things I could probably try to work with. Yeah, let's get you to a place not so full of people. He takes you up to a. You guys walk together. Hawkwood, acting painfully slow, walking up to a more secluded part of the tower. Maybe near your airship, like on the docks, so there's not so many people. He kind of sits you down and like rubs his hands together, and he puts out some stuff. There's like a glow. You can see all of the rings on his fingers and all of the necklaces begin to glow with like this glittery goldiness. The necklaces even like kind of like start floating up out of the jacket and just kind of like float in midair as he's doing it. Throws it out. Quincy knows this one is just like a restoration spell. Just like the flat restoration. Wait, is it lesser
Yeah.
and greater restoration?
Lesser or greater?
Okay. You know this is greater restoration. He throws it out. You see him kind of close his eyes. The glow dissipates. He opens them back up. He goes, Ballstar, can you speak? You try to you produce sound, but you just go, I'm glad to.
Oh god.
His face looks grim. He's there's another thing I can try. Hold on. This is a spell, right? Hold on.
Apple-bappy.
He throws out another spell. This one is called Remove Curse. Doesn't do the job either. After he does Remove Curse, he does one other spell, and it looks like he's like targeting and like looking through. He pulls out a small little like monocle. He's like looking through the monocle at you, like trying to like pinpoint something. He's done with that, and he tucks the little monocle away. Okay. So there is good news and bad news. The good news is that I don't think this is permanent. However, I'm unclear as to how long it could last. The bad news is that I don't know how long it could last. This isn't a curse. This isn't like a poison. Something inside of your friend here broke. And treating it like any other sort of wound, you might just have to let it heal.
Yes, I suspect it has something to do with Broca's area.
With what?
Broca's area.
What is Broca's area?
It is the area of the brain that translates thought and speech into muscular action of the mouth. and vocal cords.
Is this in character? I don't know if that was in character or not.
Yes, it's definitely something parents would know.
Yeah, absolutely. He kind of blinks a couple times. Yeah, what he said. But I think, I mean, there might be a spell you'd be able to use that would most likely work, but it's real high. It's kind of legendary. I would be hard pressed to find literally anybody. If you can find someone who can cast Wish, that might be able to get rid of it immediately. Something that can bend time and space. Other than that,
Oof.
you might just have to wait it out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can we create object a whiteboard or something? He can wear it around his neck.
Maybe we should drop him off or send him to the Dragonwood while we continue our errands.
A little R&R. Could be a good idea.
Out of character, is he able to cast his or use the his tree stick thing
I
to
don't
transport?
think
Oh.
Is he able to do that without verbal?
so. No, I think you need verbals to do that.
Well, it's got charges. It's got a charge.
Yeah,
on
I
it,
know,
so it
but
should be-
you still
But I
spells,
think it's a command word thing.
Oh.
spells have like ways of casting them, so it just lets you cast it.
No, if you're casting the spell, but if you have an object that, or if you have something that has charges on it, like I have my my dragon fang gauntlet, I just swipe, and that, like as a gesture.
Yeah, I think that's more of a special case. With like this stick, he can cast. It's not the stick that's casting it. It's with the stick, he can cast it. You know what I mean? So I think all like the verbal, somatic, and everything still has to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, I can turn into animals. That's about all I can do right now. I couldn't even really communicate with you guys once.
Because I mean, we could send him
Other
there.
than
We could
message.
send him to the Dragonwood, but he'd have to have a way to come back. But I guess if he's, yeah, because if he fails, then
I'm just
he'd
stuck
be
there.
stranded there.
Well, what do you mean? How would we send him?
Well, I could have just done my spell to teleport there, but I can't cast spells. So you guys would
Yeah,
have
so
to take me there.
I could open up
Shit. Or a teleport circle.
I could teleportation circle him there.
But I still couldn't get back.
And then he would have to run through his ritual to try and obtain wish.
Takes 3 days.
Yep, and then so we could be running around cities and communicating with people while he's trying to get his wish.
Or I could just tag along.
Yeah, but when
I'm pretty indifferent to what. I don't think we need to do the wish thing necessarily.
I mean,
Oh,
If you guys think
it
it's a
could
good
last
idea, I
month.
can do it.
Like
Yeah, it's a bummer.
if you just bone around with us for a month, like
Well, I kind of thought it wouldn't be waiting for the wish necessarily, but just being in the woods. Maybe it's restful and whatever.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, but he could spend 3 days trying, and we can get a lot of diplomacy done in the meantime.
How far away are we from the Dragonwood?
Pretty far.
That's
Yeah,
what I thought.
Southern Zalargo.
We would have to teleport you there for sure, and I guess worst case scenario is we have to pick you up before we do anything,
there's
any
vape,
big action.
yeah, Vape Invades teleport circles there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And he's okay, right? I think he's probably not 100% yet, but he's alive and
Yeah, I don't think he's at his old place though.
He was on the ship last time. He was in the
Yeah. The Argon.
what's it called? Ars.
Argon?
Yeah.
Argon with Vincent.
Okay.
So I say that's worth it.
How are you gonna get back then?
Just come the next day.
I mean, if he gets his wish, he can just use teleport via trees
No,
to meet
not-
up with us.
I mean,
and
Terrence.
if he fails, then we have to pick him up.
Oh wait, do you have? If you do a teleportation circle, do you have to go in it?
Oh yeah. How does that work, John? If I was to open up a teleportation circle, could I summon him back from a different teleportation circle?
No, I think you have to be there to cast teleportation circle. You don't have to teleport yourself. Like you can teleport somebody else,
Yeah.
but
You
it's
could.
not like you can call somebody from another teleportation circle to you.
Right. I just wasn't sure if it like opens a portal that's two ways.
There is a spell for that. It's called Gate. I think it's another 8th or 9th level spell.
Nine.
Yeah.
But that's what that is. Like it's something you can go back and forth between.
So he would have to shoot. Wait a minute. I gave that professor at Belgrade a scroll so that she could get out when that trap got sprung. Was that teleportation circle that I gave her, or was that something else?
When in the library?
Yes, and it couldn't have been teleportation circle, could it?
No, it was shit. The short range teleport, like the 200 to 300 foot one.
Yes,
Dimension door.
that's right. Because I have a scroll of teleportation circle, but you would have to get someone else to open it for him. I think, right?
Oh, it's still
Yes, he couldn't cast it because he. Well, I mean, if he was able to speak, he could try to cast it. It'd be a check.
Do we know any? No, we don't really know any magic people in Woodhelm.
Mm-hmm.
You're not good.
I mean, I could give him the scroll either way, and he could try for the best.
You got a buffalo one in there.
That doesn't hurt him to have it.
That's a.
For true.
No, looks like did they go somewhere? No. Did you say something? Yeah, I heard some mumbling.
Oh no, it's probably them in the other room.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to search something. I'm trying to find that stupid book that had that. That thing in it. I saved it somewhere. I don't remember where I saved it. So is that the plan? Is that you guys what you think you're gonna do?
Oh, that was my suggestion. Let's see if Volstar's up for that. Then we'll see.
Here we go. Found it. God damn, took way too long. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. I forgot how ridiculous this is.
Oh, you're looking for his
The
yeah
that silly
procedure for
the ritual. I found it. But what I didn't remember is it's not just the 3 days of concentration. Essentially, like he does the 3 days and goes through like trials or whatever, and does the intelligence checks, or wisdom checks, I think is what it is. He does a series and he gets a prophecy that he feels like he should fulfill, and only at the very end he has to fulfill that prophecy.
Oh.
Well, I thought you did this already.
he failed though.
I've tried and failed twice.
You don't? Did you fail twice?
Yeah.
I got
Because it was the sing a song of mourning at an enemy's funeral, right?
No, that was
Yeah.
Quincy, right?
No, that was me.
That was.
Did you sing a song of
No.
mourning at an enemy's funeral?
Nope.
Huh? Yeah, you did.
When?
I'm trying to remember who it was. I remember that you did that.
Sing a song
Was it
of mourning at an enemy's funeral. I don't remember.
Was it like was it the Black Spider's funeral?
No,
Fuck, who was it?
I don't think
No.
he died. He ran away from us, and we haven't seen him since.
Yeah.
Was it?
It wasn't the Cold Rider, was it?
No.
Maybe. What was it?
Who was the big muscular guy?
Sang
Zalhart?
Zolhart.
Zalhart. Didn't we kill him?
No.
No, he's flat-headed.
Right.
Oh yeah, we didn't kill him.
I pile drived him down a circular staircase center.
I think I remember him singing a funeral song at an enemy's funeral.
I remember. I don't know if we actually did it. I remember talking about it. But anyway,
Wait, was it Bishop?
Bishop?
What?
Maybe?
Yeah, man.
we
We
killed
killed
him.
Yeah.
Did you hold a funeral for him?
No.
I thought you just kind of ripped a magic item out of his chest and left him to rot.
That's what we did.
Anyway,
I don't remember, so we can move on.
Well, do you know what the status is?
of that prophecy.
Yeah, or can he restart the process and get a different prophecy?
Yes, I think there's also there's a time limit when you can do this,
Oh, okay.
or so long. It's like there's a short time.
A window.
Yeah, there's a window where if you fulfill that prophecy, then that happens.
When did we do it? It was right after we got out of the cave, right? The Zerg thing?
Yeah.
That's when we went back to the Dragonwood?
Sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's a decent shot. There's a chance that just being in the forest will help, and if not, there's a new prophecy or whatever.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
not, I can just hang out at home. Good place to recuperate.
Yeah. So the big question is, do we want to split up the party and let him go do his thing for a while, or do we want to actually just everybody just go there and try and support?
Well, we're on a time crunch, too.
How would we support?
Yeah, there's not much you guys can do.
Yeah, except to help him fulfill his prophecy if he needs help with that. But we don't know what that's going to be.
Doesn't he have to do it alone or something?
Yeah, he does have to do it alone. I mean, other people could be there, but
Okay, whatever we want to do. Wellstar, do you want me to open a portal to the Dragonwood?
If you guys think you'll be okay, sure. Just get a consensus from the group.
Yeah, you're much more valuable when you can cast stuff.
Hawkwood, he while you guys are talking about this, Hawkwood kind of leans and he goes, Balster, do you feel comfortable being alone? I can come and help guard you if you don't feel safe. I know it's your glade or whatever, but
Immediate hug.
you hug him.
Yeah.
He kind of okay. Pats you on the back. He's like, I don't plan on losing any other Dark Lantern agents, so if you feel like you need some protection, I'd be more than happy to help when I can.
Hawkwood, have you ever dealt with any magic? Would you be able to attempt to cast from a scroll?
His eyes kind of He, I don't. I mean, I've casted stuff from scrolls before, but it's never been anything super high. It's my thing's more of like guns.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more martial magic. I know very little bit. I can cast a scroll of like invisibility, like something that level maybe, but I'd have to have the scroll to do it, and I don't know. It's failed a couple of times before too. That's why I generally stick to potions.
Yes. Well, as maybe perhaps a last resort, I'm going to send Balstar with this scroll of teleportation circle for him to return to us upon the conclusion of his quest.
Sure.
And if you are able to, as a last-ditch effort, support that, or you need to try and cast it, then you should go ahead and give it a try.
Yeah, we could try to find somebody to cast it if it doesn't work. So we'll see. I don't want you to be alone out there. So what are you guys gonna do?
Well, tell us. We've been attempting to find out the whereabouts and the status of the Dark Lanterns, and we've managed to recover these records here, but we'd certainly be love to know what you've been up to and what you know about where our agents have been scattered.
The other agents, I'm not sure. But you found the log, the code names of different the different agents. You have that?
Yes, we've secured it.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. I haven't been doing very much. There's a group of people that I was with when the attack happened. I know you guys had to leave. I tried to help as much as I could to get some people out. I've been sneaking a couple into the city every night, just so they don't have to camp outside. That's pretty much what I've been doing. I had been talking to the Triumvirate, but they, as soon as the first attack happened on Zolenberg, they completely shut down any sort of relations. They went completely black. No contact with them at all. Probably, for their own safety. They're masked. Nobody really knows, the identities of the rulers. It's always been anonymous, but I don't think the government feels like being very open when there's a hostile army going through their countryside.
Do you have any means of getting a message to them?
I can certainly try. I would have to be here though.
Do you have any other contacts here that could make that attempt on our behalf?
In Zolenberg, maybe. But Trollenport's never really been my. Trollenport, I have maybe a couple of contacts, maybe.
All right. Perhaps you can do that after you come back from the Dragonwood.
He nods.
Tell us, last we met with you, a bounty was announced over our heads, and we fled. What happened in Stolenberg after that?
Well, you guys were not produced, so they burnt the library to the ground. The dragon did. Before they're pulling out as much as they can, City Watch and standing militia that they have. But Zalargo doesn't have an army. It's a strictly neutral country. They built most of their might comes from the allies of the other nations they've allied with, which is almost all of them. They didn't really have a lot to fight back with. As soon as the odds looked like it was against the dragon, people were coming out, it just took off and flew away. Since then, the open hobgoblin mercenary army has been pillaging its way through the countryside. People have fled, just trying to get out of their way. It looks like they're just headed west to Breland. At this point, they're probably on the border of Zalargo and Breland. But thankfully, they haven't come this far south.
Now, does it seem that their target is in Breland? They're just passing through?
Just passing through, but also, pillaging, burning in their way, salting the earth.
And is there a Warforged element? How is the alliance structured with this dragon?
I don't know. It's the giant silver dragon. It's not. It doesn't look to be. It doesn't look to be like a real dragon. It's definitely clockwork. It's machinery. It's some sort of warforged. There's a small warforged element, like an honor guard, that surrounds the black warforged with the brilliant saber that he has. That he's the one that seems to be leading the army.
What's the name again?
He doesn't know the name, but you guys know the name of that one as Warden.
So there is a clear alliance between the Hobgoblins and the Warforged.
Honestly, it doesn't take a lot to get Hobgoblins riled up. You promise pillaging and gold. You probably get anyone that you can. It was just we didn't realize such a large force was amassing just outside the border.
The bridge we blew up was all Hobgoblins and Warforged.
Yeah.
We did warn the Triumvirate of their approach. We spotted them across the mountain pass, and we slowed their approach by destroying the bridge. It seems they were unable to respond or chose not to.
Yeah, I told them. I was there when you told them about it. I vouched for you. I'm not sure what game they thought they were playing, but they have lost a national treasure because of it.
Indeed. Well, unfortunately, we have more bad news in kind.
Hawkwood lifts a quizzical ear.
You'll note over the next few days the cycles of the moon. They've gone absent. In fact, the moon itself.
The moon is gone?
Well, we don't know physically how it's doing, but its connections to other realms have been quenched.
Does this have to do with him losing his ability to talk?
Well, yes.
I do the more or less jazz hands.
So you're telling me you killed the moon? You killed the moon?
No. What we've discovered is that the source of the power of the Lord of Blades is an alliance with Primus and the realm of law. It's gone errant, and it seeks to destroy our world, as it has others. And
Fantastic.
his channel to our world and its destruction is none other than the Lord of Blades.
And you think the Lord of Blades is going to bring whatever killed the moon here?
Absolutely. If he's
That's
not
good.
if he's not stopped, then we will be overcome.
Okay. What about Argov? What about the big fortress What are they doing? Are they going on an offensive?
Well, that's we've only just learned all of this, and
Okay.
we are trying to do as much diplomacy as efficiently as we can.
Yeah.
Was Argonth going to Sharn?
Yeah, you talked to Van Zant. He said McConus moving south. Argonth is moving to intercept to protect Sharn.
Gotcha.
Hawkwood looks stunned. He goes, I'm not going to make the same mistake Frit did. I believe you. How can I help? I feel like here in Solargo, it's just been endless bickering, and my contacts with the government has ceased. I'm helping refugees out, which is it's good to get these people, where they need to go, but I think it might be time for me to help back in Breland. Yeah?
I think so. You can probably be most helpful by helping to regather the Darklands. Take this log, take this information. We'll make a copy for you.
Okay. Absolutely.
And we know that Lucan is alive. Do you know anything of Lucan?
No, I didn't. He kept searching for the Black Spider after you guys left, trying to catch him. Last I heard, he was hot on the trail, and then he disappeared, and all this stuff happened.
He may have been overtaken and overcome.
But you know where he is?
Well, no. We know that he's been incapacitated, a stake through his heart, sealed in a coffin, sunk into an ocean.
Oof.
Yet he can be freed if we can locate him.
Okay. I can work with that. I'll read through. He kind of flips through the log a bit. I'll see who I can round up after we help All-Star. I'll get on it.
Is there anything else you can offer us? Any ideas?
I'm not sure, but I'm not really a big plan kind of guy. I'll see what I can do. Any other ideas? I'll let you know.
I write on a piece of paper, Arum with a question mark, and hand it to Hawkwood.
He goes, the Arum? What about him?
Do you have any contact with them?
No. Most of them are dwarven lords sitting on their piles of gold in the Moor holds. That's at least what I know about them. I've never really had to deal with them.
Okay.
You're the best tracker we know of. If anyone can find Lucan, we know it's you.
Yes, sir. Okay, well, we got a semi-plan. You guys are staying here? Are you going back to Breland? I know Ballstar's doing his thing. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I
Yes,
wasn't sure.
we'll probably head to Breland.
What's in Breland? Meet up with the Argonth?
That and Dosk and Goosefire.
Are there any other threads we were talking about? So we did the Usador thing.
I mean, it's a long shot, but Creed.
Dungeon Creed. He's in Sharn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it might be good if I teleport ahead. I can spend time in the Dragonwood, check on the Zerg hive, do my
Oh, yeah.
thing. While if you guys are going to Sharn, you'll be near the Dragonwood anyway. So I don't know how long it takes to travel, but maybe you guys can pick me up after I'm already there for a couple of days.
Yeah, if we need to pick you up, we can.
I mean, if you're flying all the way to Breland, I don't see why not.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Is there anything else we want to do as long as we're out this far east?
We don't really have any contacts with the Triumvirate, so not really. I mean, the last thing we can try and drop a message through customs here.
What are we gonna ask the Trent number? I guess I shouldn't be talking. I guess what's the point of talking to the Triumvirate? They've been very businessy, by the job in the past. I don't think.
It would just be like an invitation, like drop a bunch of proof on them, tell them what's happening,
Sure. Okay.
and then
yeah.
tell them to have a mage contact Terrence.
Okay.
I'm just afraid that they're gonna try to apprehend me if we open our mouths.
What did we do? We helped them. We blew the bridge.
Yeah, I mean,
We killed 100 people in one of their airships, and they were pretty fine with us.
yeah.
Well, you didn't. It was the big fucking dragon thing.
We got
the
them. We got them
What?
killed. In a manner of speaking.
Yeah, we fled, and there's half their city got destroyed.
Yeah.
Not that there's no immediate threat to them now. There's no reason why they would have to arrest us now.
Yeah. It's kind of coulda, woulda, shoulda, but I guess they could arrest us.
Yeah. So maybe we should have pile everybody on the thing, and then let me try and do a quick escape if I need to, if they try and pull anything.
I guess. Sure.
Can Terrence do a check to see if no? So magic is not limited here in the Lyrandar port, right?
Yeah, not in the Lyrandar port. I mean, offensive magic might get you in trouble, but it's not like it's looked down on or anything.
Okay, so I could always teleport or do something magic to escape.
Yeah, you should be fine.
All right. So we don't really have any other business here, right?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Why don't everybody get on the ship and have it ready to go, engines running, and then I'll drop into customs here.
All right.
Everybody pause on the ship.
Yep.
A riveting scene where Quincy or Terrence stands in line.
Oh, should we go ahead and send Hawkwood and Baltar out through a portal?
He goes, I'm ready when you guys are.
If you're waiting in line, sure.
Yeah. All right. So before we leave that secluded area, I'll open up a teleportation circle to the Vape Invades castle.
Okay. Ballstar steps in. You're holding out the circle. Hawkwood kind of takes a deep breath, steps through the circle, and there's just pop. They're gone. Terrence waits in line for everybody's waiting on the thing, keeping the engines running. You finally get through customs while you're standing in line. There's a very haggard-looking, overworked gnome woman at the desk. She's writing something down, in the middle, doing 3 different things. She's like, yeah, how can I help you?
My name is Terrence Trotterbottom. Do you recognize that name?
She's like, look, there's been a lot of names here today. There have been a lot of people who are trying to get into Trollandport with just their name. Unfortunately, there is a vetting process that we are still getting through, and there are thousands of people trying to get in through the gates. I will write it down, and we can start the customs process.
That won't be necessary. I'm not trying to enter the city. I have a message that I have no way of getting up the chain of the government.
Okay. She stops and finally kind of looks up at you. Oh, okay. You want to relay a message to the government? My supervisor?
To triumvirate.
Okay. She kind of gives like a little bit of a God, I can't speak. She does a little mean laugh and says, okay.
Can I speak with the president?
The Lord of Blades put a call out for my head, specifically just before the dragon burned the library in Zolenberg to the ground.
The look of insolence on her face towards you just kind of immediately melts away. She goes to like a blank kind of stare.
Do you recognize the name?
Not the name. She kind of reaches over and she pulls something from the wall and she turns over a piece of paper that just says wanted. And it has the 4 faces.
That's correct.
You're turning yourself in?
I have a message for the triumvirate.
Okay, 1 second. Let me go get my supervisor. She, pushes the wanted down. You see the 2 other desks beside her have both stopped, and they're, looking at her and, looking back and forth from you. She goes, just wait here a second. I'll be back quickly. She stands up.
I'm going to pull a form and start scribbling my message down just in case I need to leave that and jet.
You see the other 2 gnomes kind of turn, they're talking to somebody else behind them. They stand up from their seats and they leave the windows as well.
Scribble, scribble, scribble. Right.
Mm-hmm. You start feeling the energy of the crowd behind you. Generally, they're kind of talking amongst themselves, and there's babies crying, and it's super loud. That still happens, but the energy of the crowd behind you kind of shifts as you hear kind of some gasps back behind. As you look back on the crowd where the barricade is, you see that there are 6 armed guards. All of them unhook the hook hammers and start moving towards you.
I'm readying the fang for takeoff.
You're in the dragon one.
Oh, that's right.
I'm gonna ready a wall of force. Put a bubble around myself if they don't listen to me.
Okay. You hear part. Hey, you! Drop whatever arms that you have. Put your hands in the air. And you're under arrest.
As they're approaching, I'll just say, stand aside. Listen.
The crowd definitely parts from you.
Listen to what I have to say.
You can listen. We'll listen downtown, but we're taking you away from here.
I cast an illusion, and I'm just gonna kind of have some harmless but intimidating flames kind of jet up all around me. I said, listen and wait.
As soon as that happens, they all kind of step back. You go grab the mage. They look up. You look up as they sit there kind of stealing themselves. You see coming down the stairs are Lyrandar forces. You have a couple more people with pikes, and then you have another Lyrandar agent who is just cackling with lightning all up and down the tattoo that she has, the dragon mark on her arm. She begins to float up a little bit. Yeah, go.
As I see this happening, I'm realizing that they're not gonna just listen. So I'm gonna cast a major illusion, and the effect that I want is just a booming voice that everyone within enough to shatter glass within miles to hear this.
Okay.
And I'll say, and try to not stumble through this. This is Terence Stratobatum. You ignored my words when I warned of the forces coming that have now pillaged your land. Hear me now. The Lord of Blades has allied himself with Primus and is on his way to destroy this world. The moon has been destroyed, and he's coming for us next. You must have the Triumvirate notified and contact me for further information. All forces that we can muster are required. This can be stopped, but it requires our cooperation. Heed me now, or we will all die. And
Okay.
then I'm gonna disappear.
Hit
Go
me up with
invisible?
my mobile.
Well, I'm gonna do what's that gateway, whatever,
Dimension
teleport far away into a corner and then go invisible.
Dimension door.
Yeah.
As soon as you do that, everybody just gets down, covers their ears. You do see what little glasses in the tower just kind of crack and burst, as it just you can hear it echoing throughout the whole city that the tower is on. You dimension door, go invisible. You guys on the Fang hear this giant booming voice. There are still Lyrandar guards there. It looks like more Lyrandar guards have begun to congregate at the skydock that you're at. Terrence, you run up, you run past the guards that are beginning to congregate there. They see that you're one of the guards sees that the engines are firing up. He goes, "Hey, no, stop that shit!" Terrence, you run past them as they're congregating. Hop onto the Fang.
All right, he's the
What
pilot.
do you
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
Huh?
I was just saying, oh yeah, because he's the one who pilots the thing.
I was the backup pilot.
Yeah. Yeah, do a step on it, and then can I cast a second major illusion to just completely cloak the ship?
Yeah, sure. You can do that. You cloak the ship. You fire up the engines to get out of there, and you find that the docking clamp has not let go.
We're tethered. You need to release the ship. I just yell it.
I will jump out and try to find the clamp.
Okay. You jump out. I think with the major illusion, you probably put a box around it. You can still hop out of the ship and still be invisible-ish. But yeah, you look down underneath the initial arm went up and clamped onto the ship, and then on top of that is where you guys been walking to get into the tower. So it's below the boards that had rolled out to make a walking surface to get in. But you see, it's just like an arm. It doesn't look like it's like grabbing onto the ship. It looks like it's like some sort of like magical, like 3-pronged thing that's like latched onto the hull.
Can I message that guard that I had charmed?
Yeah, sure. He's no longer charmed, and he's aware that you charmed him.
I'm gonna message him anyway.
Okay.
I'll tell him the message has been delivered. We have to go warn others and gather forces. Please, release the ship.
You get nothing.
Yeah.
Can I try to dispel magic on the?
Yeah, sure. Roll a spell.
Roll to spell.
Uh, 16.
16? I think that's probably enough. You kind of peek down, look over, like Alan is like freaking out. He's like, it's clamped. I don't know. You shoot it down, and you see the little lights on it just go dark as the ship lurches one way, free.
Sweet.
Nice.
Everybody hops in and you jet off.
Yep.
Cool. Off into the sunset. Ballstar and Hawkwood. You arrive at the Dragonwood. It's been a little while since you've been here. You're not at the Glade, you're at Vapin Bates. You're in Woodhelm.
Mhm.
Woodhelm, last you saw, was a pseudo-military camp with Brillish forces. They were using it as kind of like a staging area to wipe up some Warforged remnants that were here in the Dragonwood. It looks a lot like what you saw before. It's muddy. It's not kept well. There's nobody actually living here at this point. It's kind of a ghost town. But back at Vape Invades,
No Brellish anything. There's really nobody there.
there's nobody here. It looks like there's remnants of like cook fires and some like spare tents that have like, torn, broken equipment just been left here.
Okay.
But you don't see any like the Brellish flags or any sort of like army.
Okay. I just gesture for Hawkwood to follow me and just make my way over to the Dragonwood.
Okay. It's really easy for you to find. Hawkwood looks a little confused as you kind of double back and go certain ways, but being in the forest is just kind of like, you know exactly where you need to go. You just don't get lost. As soon as you get to your glade, you find like there's just a huge weight that's lifted from your shoulders. And whatever's broken isn't while you're in your glade.
Oh, wow.
You can talk. You
Nice.
find.
Oh my god. My junk is so sweaty.
Hawkwood kind of blinks. He goes, "You're feeling better already?"
Yeah, I feel fine. I don't know what. You hear me? You hear me right now?
I can hear you.
Holy shit. Oh
Yeah.
my god. I just assume I'm completely better.
Okay.
Wow. Alright. So, alright. It's a little bit confusing, but I'm supposed to impart some sort of prophecy from here. But I already did it, and I didn't fulfill it. So, I'm supposed to sing a song at the funeral of an enemy. Or funeral of a friend. I honestly can't remember. It's been a while. We've been really busy, and I kind of forgot about it. So I'm kind of hoping I could just do it again, and it'll be like it never happened. It takes a couple days,
Hawkwood,
though,
like,
is the
you,
thing.
You got me. I have no earthly idea how any of this stuff works, so this is your place. You make the rules.
It's gonna take a couple days, so let's get some food for you, because it's kind of a wasteland up here.
Oh, in your glade, it's perfectly fine.
Okay.
You can You could like summon animals to just kind of come from the slaughter if you want.
Okay, I'll do that. And I get like just like a cool out zone of just like a lot of like very chill rodents that are like down with cuddling.
Yeah.
And-
Also, I think we made a canon that you can like set the thermostat of your blade too.
Oh yeah, 72 degrees, baby.
Yeah, with a nice breeze.
Balmy. And then I'll yeah, I guess if you just wanna, I don't know how out of it I'll be, so if you wanna just kind of make sure I don't do anything too crazy and just kind of keep a general sense of the surroundings, because who knows where I'll be.
He kind of hikes up his oh, he doesn't have it. He's still in that stupid old man the old man outfit. You see him, he reaches for a hat that's not there that he can like set and I forgot my hat. He takes the beard off, like takes the robe off. He's got like leather armor underneath, and he definitely has the gun belt. He reaches back. He's like, "I didn't bring my long gun. Shit. All right, I'll do what I can." He picks out both revolvers, looks at them, makes sure that they're like well oiled and loaded, and click, puts it in the belt. Because yeah, I'll be here guarding. Just tell me what I can do.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna do my thing then.
Do it. So, was it intelligence or wisdom? Let's see.
I thought wisdom. I think, were they more specific? Were they like nature or like survival or something?
I think it's a wisdom thing.
Okay.
Because it's not about like your skills at something. It's about you interpreting strange like
Drawing meaning out of
patterns.
things.
Like the formula of the formula of the universe, like weird stuff like that.
Okay.
So you just plop down in the comfy vines. Is that what it was?
Well, I brought the rodents for Hawkwood, so I don't know. I think I'd go to like a place where there's like running water, so it's just like ambient noise.
Okay.
So not tentacle porn.
No. Chris taking a shit.
Okay. You find, there's a small creek relatively nearby. You sit down, just close your eyes, try to get into the groove. Hawkwood is about 20 feet behind you, just leaning on a tree, just arms crossed, just kind of looking around. Roll a wisdom check.
Ooh, not good. 11.
11. You know what? It's not a wisdom check.
Okay.
This is saying that it's skill based, which makes less sense to me, but it's right here. So let's do it skill based. Let's do nature.
Nature. Okay. That's going to be 13 then.
15 or 13?
13, 1, 3.
13. Okay. All right. The first day goes by. You are sitting by this creek for like 6 hours, turns into 12 hours. Hawkwood is just kind of does his own thing. He doesn't bother you at all, but he's always nearby, trying to be as stealthy and sneaky as possible. You start watching the water. Things get crazy, and you can kind of feel yourself slip into that weird, like, half sanity, where you just start overthinking everything. Like number 23, just like, hey. Let's do the next day.
All right. It's been a rough couple months.
Can you enhance ability yourself?
Yeah, I can, because I can speak now.
Not as good as I remember.
Cheddar checks.
Yeah, you want to?
Yeah, I'll have some. Yeah, I'll do enhanced ability. God. Oh my god. It's another 13. Unlucky 13.
13.
Yeah, same roll. With
That was with advantage.
with advantage. It was an 11 and a 13.
You start to feel the same. It doesn't feel as connected as the first time you've done it.
Mm-hmm.
You do manage, you feel on the second day, if you're just having trouble refocusing, you're not really sure why, but you finally kind of slip back into it on the third day. You kind of sit down determined what you're going to do. Roll me another nature check.
Alright. Same deal. Gonna meditate for a bit. Do an enhanced ability. That's pretty good. Even better. That's going to be a 25.
Yeah, okay. The third day it clicks. You, what was that? No, we don't. The third day it clicks. You feel yourself slip into like this. It almost feels like a complete like opposite like dimension where things are like signs are everywhere. You can things that don't make sense suddenly make sense to you, and it's like a state of mind that you can't just like you can't even remember after you haven't gone, but you're here now and you know it. You get a vision of something. I need you to roll a d12 for me.
3.
Roll again, because that 3 was Sing a Song of Mourning at Amity's funeral.
Okay. That's an 8.
Okay. You just know that if you can do this thing, the stars will align, and you can harness the power and fulfill this prophecy, and that is pilot an airship during a storm. Ridiculously easy.
Oh my god.
Because the first one was get struck by lightning. There's just a whole bunch of weird shit in here, and that's like the most down to earth thing. That's so weird. But if you can pilot an airship during a storm, you can get all of the tangled webs of life together and fulfill the prophecy.
Nice.
After kind of coming out of it, I think to myself, am I uncreative, or like is like destiny like have I done so bad that the world's taking it easy on me now? Like I'm feeling genuinely insecure about the world at large. More personally, like I take it personally. Like it should be harder,
you saw
right?
Everything and how everything was interconnected, and all the futures that will or won't be, and you're slightly disappointed.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just I feel like I should have done something harder. Am I like this stupid that it was made this easy for me? You know what I mean? It's like
the interconnecting being of all forces, just like, oh,
here, just high five me and you're good.
poor little guy.
Yeah, so I have a little man's complex, and then I go talk to Hawkwood. I think we're good.
Hawkwood's been keeping himself busy, but you come up with hair all wild, your like eyes are like dilated and like a little crooked and cockeyed. You're like, okay, we're good. He goes, oh, Are you sure you're good? You
Look
haven't
at me.
eaten
Look at me.
or slept in 3 days.
Look at me. Look at me. And I get right in his face. And I put my arms out like this. I say,
Like,
completely horizontal. Like, still face to face. And I say, do what I'm doing.
I can't see you. The
Oh.
video is like that.
I'm just like completely horizontal, like doing this right in his face, like staring like face to face with him, and I said, "Come with me," and I just like airplane away.
You just go wee.
Yep.
Hawkwood, like you away, and he does it. Follows you through the forest. You guys are like Naruto running through the trees.
I stop suddenly and then say, "Hey, I can talk, so I could probably just read the scroll that Terrence gave you."
Yeah, probably.
Okay. But we should probably like wait for a message from them. So let's just wait. I'm gonna wait till Terrence calls.
Okay. Are we gonna be doing this the whole time?
Yes.
He kind of sighs and does it half-heartedly.
When someone gets a message from me, how long do they have to respond?
I think it's pretty much immediately.
Okay, because I would say that parents is probably checking in with Hawkwood.
Oh, okay. Where are you guys headed?
We were headed to Sharn, right?
Going
yeah.
to Sharn? Shared?
Wait, Argonth or Sharn?
Sharn.
Argonth was moving north towards Sharn? Or like
No, it's moving south.
Okay.
Okay. You take the thing through and through, and head southeast. Sharn is still the furthest tip south on in Breland. You guys can just kind of skirt the coast, trying to keep out of any sort of eyes that you can. Real high, skirting the coast. That probably takes you a couple of days. Just going like that, crossing the rest of Zalargo, crossing into Brillish territory, and then kind of down at the very, very tip where Sharn is. Finally, you do see Sharn at the very end. You're messaging back and forth with Hawkwood on that third day. You check in with him. Hawkwood says, Ballstar seems that he's got a prophecy. He can talk, though, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, probably just when he's local to the forest. I'm sure as soon as he leaves, it'll disappear.
He does have the empowerment of the forest. He is the guardian of its magical natures.
Cut to Ballstar, and like right after that scene happens, Ballstar, he is the guardian of the forest, powerful beyond all belief when he's in his element.
It's in slow motion. You're like seeing spittle shoot out of my mouth.
You just stop and I swallow the bug.
Apologize to the bug.
Once he tells me that he has a prophecy, I'll message Ballstar. What do you need to fulfill the prophecy?
Oh, you're gonna. It's. I gotta fly the airship when the weather's bad, and that's what I gotta do, I guess. Should be like, you thought it would be something like bigger or more dramatic, right?
Yeah. Should be pretty easy then.
I either messed up real bad or that's apparently what I got to do. So I got to do that.
Okay. Would you come via tree to Sean? We're about to pull in.
You want to message me how it goes? Like, once you're safe in Sharn, give me a shout, and then I guess what? Black Spiders? Where do we want to meet up? Might be easier if I just meet you.
There was a teleport circle in Mr. Bartleby's place too, right?
Oh yeah, in the basement. Okay, yeah. I'll meet you over at Bartleby's.
Can do.
You guys fly into Sharn. Where do you dock? There's multiple Lyrandar towers here. You guys still never have docked at one.
No, I think we're gonna do the same thing we did before, like just kind of parking it, hiding it on the outskirts.
And walk into Sharn?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you thinking about hiding?
Or didn't we kind of
Oh, you just docked it. That's what it was. Like boat-wise.
right.
Like you landed in the water and just pulled up to a dock.
Yeah. Then the other thing that we did the one time was Goosefire had his little hidey hole.
Yeah, we had like
We kind of chilled.
storage garage.
Yeah. Where you packed it all up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So can we try to do that?
Yeah. You're still gonna have to dock it. Like you're still gonna have to like dock it at the place, and then you're gonna have to pay some like laborers to like take it out of the water onto a cart, and then you're gonna have to like bundle it up, and then rent out a cargo space, and then stow it in the cargo space. Is that what you want to do?
That's the perfect cover.
Maybe we should just float it up high again.
Stuff floating up high in Sharn is actually pretty commonplace, though. Like, there's shit flying around Sharn all the time.
So it would be normal to do that?
No, what I'm saying is that it's not like nobody will have access to it. In Sharn, if you just, like, park your boat somewhere, like, up high, like, anybody can take a skycap to it. And, like, you know, if it's a derelict airship, you never know.
Someone gonna steal it.
Yeah. Alright, yeah, I guess we can just try and find a cheap rental dock and just dock it for a bit.
Okay. Did you want to stow it, or did you want to just keep it at the dock? I'm just trying to decide, like, because you know it's going to cost money either way.
Yeah, I mean, I think we want to have access to it in case we want to leave. So just leave it.
Okay. You go up and dock it. There's a docking fee per night. It's like 20 gold.
Acceptable.
The dock master, you get it locked down. It's protected by the dock security. You're good.
All right. The message Goosefire that we're here.
Okay. He comes back. He goes, oh, great. Where do you guys want to meet?
We were heading up toward the government district. Are you anywhere near there?
I can be there quick.
Meet at the old Lantern headquarters.
I don't know what that is. Where that is. Look, in the government district, there's a great bagel place. I'll meet you there.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys make your way up through, from the dock level, it's pretty much, there's dock levels, the lowest, one of the lowest parts of the outside of Sharn. As you guys found out last time, that inside Sharn, it goes even deeper than sea level, which is where like the cogs were, where you guys crash landed.
Mhm.
But you kind of make your way out the docks. I mean, Sharn is Sharn. It looks pretty much untouched from what you can see. There's still just tons of people around doing shit. Everybody's busy. There's just all sorts of races, types of people, especially in the dock area. It's rowdy. I'd say it's probably late morning, say like 10 or 11 o'clock. Finally, when you go up, you take a few more elevators. You can see that tower is still cocked, like leaning pretty severely at an angle. However, all over the tower, you can see structures and what are those called? Risers?
Scaffolds.
Scaffolds, thank you. Scaffolding built all around that tower. Because it's such an immense size, it's kind of hard to comprehend. But you can see there's people just working all over it. You take a sky cab from the lower part of Sharn back up to the government district. You see in the government district a lot of it's a lot cleaner here. There's still a lot of hubbub going around. You see even more of the Sharn militia, just armed dudes with some sort of like yellow bandana or yellow shirt or something. Just kind of like they kind of register from like thug to like war veteran. It's kind of hard, but they all just kind of like scrap together militia, and they're just crawling all over the government district.
I'm looking around for like guards with hats on.
Like actual Sharn guards.
Yeah.
The black and green. Yeah, there's definitely them. There are actual like the town patrol too, like the actual police.
Okay.
But there's a lot of Sharn militia. It doesn't look like they're causing trouble or anything. They're just kind of like hanging around.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking out for like flatheads, basically.
Sure. Roll a perception check.
23.
You don't see any flatheads from where you are right now.
Okay.
Eventually, you guys find a bagel shop in the district. Goosefire is sitting there waiting for you. He looks fine. He's not dressed up like as obnoxiously as he normally is. He's just kind of wearing just a red leather coat with just white shirt underneath, a little piratey. He's got his hair back in a ponytail. He's smearing some cream cheese on a bagel.
How's business?
Hey! He stands up, shakes all your hands. Business is still recovering, unfortunately. But I have some friends that are helping me out. Hopefully we can reopen the central location here in Sharn. Try to figure out what exactly went on there. The tower's still being cleaned up. Fortunately, I have been released of charges. It was found that the tower collapse was not my fault. Thank God. Also, through help of some friends in higher places. So I can be out and about now, actually not having to hide my face, which is great. How are you? How's business? Where's the gnome? Where's Ballstar?
Yeah, he'll be there shortly. He's on his way.
Okay. Yeah. News is that Mechonis is moving out of Rote. Supposedly it's moving south. So Argonth should be coming in soon. Protect the front line and everything. People are a little bit spooked, but it's hard to. Generally, the people of Sharn are fierce defenders, and they don't spook very easily. Even with the tower, the leaning tower over there.
Well, we've learned much, and we need your guidance on a few things.
Yeah, anybody can help.
First, the bad news, and I'll just review everything about the moon and such.
Sure.
Not that you can do anything about all of that. Just to frame the urgency of our attempts here to garner support.
Okay. I don't know if there's how much I can help with the Aurum. They don't technically exist. It's not really something that I can call on and bring forces from. You understand? And it's not really a country. They don't. If one country falls, it's just to the benefit of another. I'm sure the ones that live here in Breland like it, but there's no way to get kind of the upper echelon to really give a shit and cross borders, unless it's in their own interests.
Well, you can see the argument is pretty clear that this is not a situation in which one can steal from Peter to pay Paul.
He nods. That's going to be hard convincing anybody in the Aurum that if you live in another country, you live on the other side of the world, you're part of the Aurum, and you have enemies here in Breland that are also part of the Aurum, seeing Breland fall is something that they're going to root for if they can destroy a rival. They're blood-sucking bastards. They are not sentimental.
Yes, well, surely they at least have resources that
Oh, they do.
could be tossed into the mix.
They do. I'll keep working on it. I'll see what, if any, support they can give, what they are willing to do. Because I'm sure the ones in Breland still want to keep all of their assets.
Yes. So, our primary goal at this time is to continue gathering all of the available forces from every corner.
And you're gathering all of them here in Sharn?
Well, the connection between Primus and the Lord of Blades must be severed. The Creation Forges must be shut down.
Agreed.
And we have only yet to decide where the final attack should take place. And it appears that Macanis is descending toward Sharn.
Okay.
We have connections to Dosk.
Oof, that's rough. You think you're gonna meet with them here?
They have, we've met with them once before. We have a fledgling business relationship with them that so far is satisfactory for all parties involved. And we have also notified them of the urgent situation at hand, and they have summoned us to discuss in person.
Okay. Just be careful. That's some shady shit.
Agreed, we simply can't afford to pick and choose who we... It's an all-hands-on-deck scenario.
True. Well, and I'll keep trying to talk to the Aurum. Anything else that I can help with?
Yes, we also have a need to win the favor of the Fae, the Summer Court, and all the rules of the Fae realm.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to do that, we have something that's very much in your interest.
What's that?
We must completely vanquish the demon Quesnef, who has so insulted you yourself.
He's quiet for a moment, nodding his head. Yeah, let's take that. Let's take that piece of shit down. What? How can I help? What? Any spare thing I have, you have my aid to take him down. I just want to see him when he's you guys ram a stick up his ass.
Well, we know that he's currently continuing the operation that he started in your facilities in order to create monsters and harvest souls. We have to locate it, destroy it, vanquish him, and then follow him into the depths of hell to finish him off.
He kind of goes pale-faced. I'm down for help in the first part. I don't know if I'm going to go to hell with you guys.
No, but we will be needing any relics or buffs or magic you can procure that would give us an advantage specifically against demon type.
All right, I'll keep my ears out. I'll see what I can find. I'll get to work on that as soon as possible, and I'll see if I can put ears out about those weird fucking monster people. Whatever's happening down there. See if we can get a starting point.
So I think while we're in the city, we'll
Find a tattoo parlor.
we'll go down to meet with Dusk again, and he I don't know if there's anything you can do to support us with that.
I mean, I'm not much of a fighter, to be honest. I don't have a lot of stuff with me. Or like even here, I'm still living up in Skyloft. Skyloft? Oh, God, I'm the worst DM.
That sounds right.
I'm still living up on the upper floor in Creed's estate. He's still letting me use his manse. A lot of stuff that I have isn't there. I don't know what I can give you. I've got some gold. That's about it. I got some cash.
Gold?
That could help. Where's Creed? We may need to speak with him.
I assume he's up at his estate. He stops by not every evening, but some evenings to see how I'm doing, and for me to pledge my thanks to him.
How receptive do you think he would be, given the circumstances, to seeing us?
I'm not sure. I'm sure I can have some pull to get a meeting with him. What did you wanted to talk to him about? About the Warforged coming in?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Let me see what I can do. He's been very busy, but if I can help you guys out, I'm there. I'll talk to him.
Okay, I think we'll have our meeting with Dusk, and then we'll meet you back up. It's in Skyloft.
Okay. I'll send you a message as soon as I get anything from Creed.
Okay.
He finishes his smearing bagel, eats it in one fell swoop, kind of brushes off the crumbs, gives you guys a nod, and heads off. You guys get to Mr. Bartleby's. I think Ballstar and Hawkwood arrive there with the teleportation circle pretty easily.
Can you speak again?
Habba babba.
Aqua looks concerned. He was talking before this.
Someone do a nature check to see if there's a storm brewing here.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Who's got a decent nature check?
I do. Jesus fucking Christ with a natural 5. 12.
You look up. I mean, Sharn is always kind of cloudy, but it'd be kind of a stretch to call it a thunderstorm. Like, it's not like a big old storm. It's just kind of rumbly and a little drizzly.
Well, don't worry, Ballstar. The worst comes to worst, we can do a flyover of the Dragonwood and you can summon the storm.
Casablanca.
So, what now, boys?
I'll message Dusk and tell them that we're heading towards there. I'm not going to say anything to Dusk. I need you all to go ahead and speak. They don't like me very much.
Alright. What are we trying to communicate here?
Well, I mean, they clearly have quite a bit of brute force power and a lot of control over the economy in Lower Sharn, so we'll try and curry their favor to send some forces to confront the Lord of Blades when necessary.
Out of character, they also asked us to meet at the Red Rivet Tavern in the Lower Tavix Landing.
Mm-hmm.
When they asked for proof, we told them, the moon has been quenched or whatever.
So you guys go to.
They want to
take Skype again.
Sorry, my notes say they wanted to see proof of the March of the Modrons / Warforged business. So we should have something prepared.
Yeah. Well, we have the Modron. We have the amulet.
What
We
Modron?
What?
What Modron do we have? Do we have a Modron?
Isora gave us the Modron, right?
I thought it ran
Yeah,
away.
you can say you have it. That's
Okay.
fine.
And the moon has been absent for at least 3 or 4 days now.
Yeah,
Sure.
a couple nights.
Yep. It's a big one.
I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. She really does not like me.
All right, to the slums! Yay! You take a sky cab, to the seedier part of Sharn. This is a part of Sharn that all the runoff of the constant rain is just kind of puddling and dirty puddles. Everything's slick and sticky and gross. You go through. It's not really a commercial district. It's really just a lot of shitty slum houses. It's not as bad as like the cogs, like the shanty towns, and like the multiple stories and the inky part, like the weird blackness. But it's still pretty bad. Not a lot of people hanging out on the streets. If they are, it's in large groups. Finally, you find what's called the Red Rivet Tavern. You seem to be near some sort of industrial part of Sharn, like machinery and forges and stuff, because you can definitely smell the smog of working furnaces just constantly billowing out black smoke. The Red River Tavern is in between a couple of city blocks where there's just like industrial built into other towers. And the Red River Tavern is just a simple 2-story structure built into the base, not the base, but a part of another large tower. It's just a little carving like built into a large support tower. It's a wooden structure. It looks skinny. It looks tall. You can see just a little bit of there's on the few windows it has. You can see that there's light inside. There's a large, jankety wooden door that's just kind of like hanging off its hinges just a little bit. And there's a hand-painted sign that just says Red River Tavern.
Good. I'll go on in.
Yeah.
You walk into the Red Rivet, and the first thing that strikes you is that there's really no oh god. The first thing that strikes you when you walk in, it's a pretty small common room. There are tables and chairs. There is a bar, but there's just kind of like these really dim, grimy lanterns that are hanging, giving off just a little bit of light. And the good majority of the patrons turn and look at you as you open up the door, and a large percentage of them are Warforged.
Okay.
Do I see any familiar faces like gargoyles or medusas?
Like what?
Gargoyles or medusas?
I don't perception check.
13.
15.
13.
You see close to the opposite side of the room, near the bar, there are like beer taps. You can see all the Warforged are kind of sitting here talking very like quietly. None of the Warforged have drinks. They're just kind of like sitting or standing, talking with each other. Back in a table, there is you see a long green nose sticking out of a ragged cloak over a strange, like, bent form. That looks kind of monstrous. Like, the nose doesn't really look human, or it looks humanoid, but it doesn't look like any sort of, like, standard race. It looks a little monstrous.
I will approach that dude and sit near him.
You guys, as you walk across the bar, you just see all the heads turn, watch you. You sit down. Slowly, the conversation begins to bubble back up, but you still just get all these weird stares. The figure kind of like looks up at you. You can see one giant malformed eye that just catches a little bit of like the yellow underneath the cloak. You see a smile with just like two teeth stuck in gums.
Are you with the Bosk?
And she, it smiles again, two teeth, goes, "Yes. Are you what you were supposed to be?"
That's us.
Excellent. How about we, these, all of you?
Yeah, 6 of us, right, with Hakwa?
Okay, follow me. She stands up from the table, and she goes back, she goes to the back of the tavern, and she opens up another janky looking door. It looks like a closet almost. And she opens up the door and just puts a hand out for you to follow.
I will go in.
I'm rolling in insight.
Yeah, I was gonna do the same.
Go ahead.
27 from me.
Mine's bad. 7.
27 was the highest.
Yep.
You kind of eye her down and see what. I mean, she looks shady as fuck. She doesn't seem to be wearing any sort of weapons. Just like this kind of ragged, like almost burlap sacks. She smells fucking terrible. There is a slight look of malice in her eye, but you're not really sure if that's directed towards you or towards just things that aren't her.
Alright, I guess we all follow it.
Yeah.
She instructs you to close the door behind you. You close the door. You're in a dark, dark, dark room. There's no light at all. She is going down the walls, or it leads into a passageway. Finally, it goes down this grimy stone. It's pretty skinny. You see her just kind of limping with a lock. Just her bare feet on the stonework, just slap, slap. Goes into looks like some sort of storage area. Just one other single grimy lantern giving off dim light. She goes up to one of the walls where there's just a whole bunch of boxes and crates kind of stacked up. One huge crate, about 8 feet tall, about 9 feet long. She just goes up to one side of it and with one hand pushes it. Behind that is another. It's not a door really. It looks like a gate, like a grate almost. She reaches over and you hear it. Hold on one second.
This dog is like the poppy dog.
If there's no moon, isn't the whole crop just not gonna form?
Pretty much.
Let's not tell them that.
No.
Who could have suspected the moon would disappear? That'll be the front of our conversation.
I mean, we can stop by the estate and charge up those power crystals with Moonbeam.
Yeah.
Sorry. Big old grate. She pulls up in the grate, and you see that there's just like a small little box, like a freight elevator, pretty much. She beckons all of you to get in. She goes up with the control lever. You guys get into the elevator. She closes the grate. There's like a small spark, and you just feel the elevator crackling and jiggity, and you can feel every link in the chain that's holding up this elevator just down and down and down. It takes maybe 15 minutes of just the silence and grinding noises and squeaks of the cage. Finally, you reach the bottom. She control lever. She opens up the grate, and you find yourself in a cave almost. It is similar to what you found when you first saw Siva. This large kind of underground chamber where there's like a ruined temple. That's not the same place. It's not a ruined temple. There are it's like another underground chamber, like some sort of large cave or something. Inside you can see there are barricades set up. There's like a couple of cook fires and camps and some overhangs. There's just shady fucking characters everywhere. It's kind of hard to see because there's not a lot of light. She opens up the grate, walks in, and she says, "Go. If you want to talk to Siva, go and find the command tent. It's just beyond there. Have fun."
Thank you, ma'am. So I can't really see. Do you guys spot a big tent?
They can see a big tent. There's like weird barricades and strange wooden structures kind of built around, but there does seem to be a tent kind of tucked away in the back part of the cavern. The only place that there is where there is a lot of light.
Oh, all right. I will approach the big tent.
Okay. All of you do.
Yeah.
You approach. You were stared at the whole time. A whole bunch of different things looking out at you. You see in front of the tent flap there is one gigantic white stone gargoyle, just like sitting there, hands kind of like on the ground, ape style. Just kind of looks at you as you come in. It doesn't say anything, but as soon as you come and approach it, it moves out of the way a little bit, takes a couple steps, and out of the way of the tent.
Okay, well, that sounds like an invitation. I will open the tent flap.
You open the tent flap. Inside is, you can see there's a table. There's some like really raggedy looking couches, just kind of like put up against. They call it a command tent, but you don't really see any sort of command going here. What you do see is a large furry being. Looks like a bugbear. Just huge shoulders, kind of a tiny head, like red malice kind of glowing in its eyes. Huge fangs. You see one of the fangs that kind of overhangs is like broken in half. He's wearing just like some kind of large breastplate. Looks like that's kind of damaged. And then he's sitting in on the couch area with this just weird fucking jagged sword that he's just got over his he has his elbow kind of propped up on. As you guys enter, he looks up and goes, "So you guys are the moon fruits? Moon fruit guys?"
We're the moon fruits.
That's us.
That's you. What are your names again?
Alan.
Quincy.
Alan, Quincy,
And I am Terrence Strutterbottom.
Terrence, and then who's he?
Ballstar.
Ballstar. So it's Alan, Quincy, Ballstar, and Terrence, right?
That's it.
All right. Those are the guys you were looking for, right? Delivered on payment. He turns back and he says that you see a tent flap open from behind him, and you see step out a 7-foot black metal warforged, slender frame Duchess.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Duchess steps out. She looks over all of you. She goes, "Payable on delivery." She puts a giant sack of gold. He goes, "I'll leave you two to talk." There's just silence as the bugbear leaves.
Oh, she's the one from the train, right?
Yeah.
The spider assassin one?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want with us?
Currently I'm just stalling. I've got some reinforcements coming from behind, but we can start it in point if you'd like.
I'm
I'm
gonna
good.
get fairy fire.
Yeah, you do it?
Do it.
Okay. Boom, he throws it out. Combat starts. We'll save that for next session, I think.
Cool.
Alrighty.
I can get a nice little nice map going up. Sorry, that was kind of a very talky session, but sometimes I guess you have to.
Yeah.
It's all good. Thanks for juggling all the settings and fucking the whole game.
No, it's fine. I love it. It's my favorite. All right, guys, I gotta call Lindsay for some reason. She was
Go for it.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks,
Bye,
dude.
guys. Have a good week.
Good night.
Dude, good night.
See ya.